Good day, everyone. We are a group consisting of 6 members: Crisalan B. Antera, Rosa Nevasco, Stephanie Kate Carpena, Pauline Areta Miracassini, Albert de Monteverde, and lastly, Siren Cruz. And together, we aim to teach you the definition of stocks and bonds and discuss the important things related to and surrounding it. Are you familiar with the term stocks and bonds? If yes, where do you often hear them? We usually hear these terms in matters related to finances, businesses, corporations, trades, economics, etc. But what exactly is the definition and the meaning of them? Now let's start this discussion by first defining stocks and bonds. Stock is a type of security that denotes the holder's ownership stake in the issuing company and is typically traded on stock exchanges. In order to raise money to operate and keep their businesses running, corporations issue stock. There are two main types of stock. We have common and preferred stock. Unlike common stock, which offers stockholders voting rights, preferred stock does not. Preferred shareholders receive dividend payments prior to common shareholders, since they have priority over the company's income. Over the long term, historically, stocks have outperformed the majority of other assets. But note that the risk here is still very high. For a much clearer understanding, let me give an example. For instance, Kuya Juanito's long-running business unexpectedly encountered a difficulty with their sales rate as a result of certain unfortunate circumstances. He came up with a solution as a result of the terrible incident that could have led to his company's bankruptcy. He then persuaded his businessmen friends to provide a stake in his business in order for it to survive. In exchange, they will receive ownership rights and a share in Kuya Juanito's company. Basically, the concept of stock is that when you share a stake in a business or a corporation, you automatically become one of the owners. Moving on, let's now proceed to bonds. A bond is a type of security under which the issuer owes the holder a debt and is obliged, depending on the terms, to repay the principal of the bond at the maturity date as well as interest over a specified amount of time. As with stocks, corporations also issue bonds to continue their businesses. There are 5 main types of bonds: treasury, savings, agency, municipal, and corporate. Each type of bond has its own sellers, purposes, buyers, and levels of risk versus return. If you want to take advantage of bonds, you can also buy securities that are based on bonds, such as bond mutual funds. The risks of bonds are somewhat lower than that of stocks. For a clearer understanding, bond is basically just a debt or a loan that must be paid in a specified duration of time. For example, Aling Celia's coffee shop wasn't doing well this past few months. She thought that the only way to continue her business was to take a loan. She will use the money owed to improve the quality of her shop's products and services. She then requested a loan from a reputable bank, which was approved, but she had 5 months to repay it. So, as you can notice, unlike stocks, bonds doesn't automatically make you one of the owners. You just take a loan and then you pay it. That's it.
Certificate is a corporate law. A stock certificate, also known as certificate of stock or share certificate, is a legal document that certifies ownership of a specific number of shares or stock in corporation. Shareholder, or also known as a stockholder, participates in the management of a company. A shareholder is an individual, institution, or company that owns a share of corporation stocks. Since shareholders are also the owners, they get the benefits of the company profits when the stock value increases. Dividend. Dividend is the distribution of a company's earnings to its shareholders and is determined by the company's board of directors. Dividends are often distributed quarterly and may be paid out as cash or in the form of reinvestment in additional stock. Certificate number. Certificate number means the granted to the registrant by CPCC permitting the registrant to purchase or otherwise acquire directly from a distributor. Zero rated media on a levy-free basis. Par value stock is a type of common or preferred stock having a nominal account, known as par value, attached to of its share.
For more key terms that we have in stock and bond, we have no par stock. These are the issued without a stated value on the certificate. Ito yung mga naka-design without a specific value or stated value on the certificate. Next is market price. These are the prices at which a stock on bond is sold. These are the prices on which an asset can be bought or sold, which when we're going to relate it sa topic natin na stock and bond, yung bond ay sold na sa stock. And the next key term that we have is the preferred stock, which is a type of stock for which stockholders get first choice in distributed profits. So these are the preferred shareholders that have priority over a company's income, meaning they are paid dividends before common shareholders. Na dito na papasok yung isa nating key term na common stock, which is the ordinary stock of a corporation paying no specified rate or amount of dividend. Now, if we're going to compare these two, the preferred stock is much more prioritized than the common stock, which is the last in line. The last in line when it comes to company assets, which means they will be paid out after creditors, bondholders, and preferred shareholders. And the last key term that we have is the initial public offering or the IPO. It is a stock sold before it is available on a stock exchange. It is when a private company offers its shares to the public for the very first time. That's all for the key terms. Thank you.
Now that we fully understood some important terminologies related to stocks and bonds, let's now move on to loans. So first of all, what is a loan? A loan is a sort of credit instrument in which a sum of money is provided to another party in exchange for value or principal amount being repaid in the future. There are two types of loans. We have a consumer and business loan. A consumer loans are structured in one of two key ways, either as a fixed loan that is repaid over a set period of time or as a revolving credit account that you can use at your own discretion. Closed loans are structured with a fixed interest rate, monthly payment amount, and repayment term. A credit card is an example of an open-ended consumer debt. The consumer can use a credit card to make purchases but must pay the balance when it becomes due. If the consumer fails to settle the outstanding balance on the credit card, he or she will be charged interest until the balance is paid off. The expense of schooling is another example of consumer credit. People commonly make loans for educational expenses that will be helpful in the future. However, schooling is still considered a consumptive credit.
Moving on, let's now discuss business loan. Business loan is a debt that a business must settle in accordance with the terms of the loan. By definition, a business loan is a cash or a line of credit given by one firm or person to another business for its start-up or operations. The loan has to be repaid by the firm, typically in installments. Example of business loans: commercial real estate loans as well as business and industrial loans are all included in the concept of a business loan.